Hi everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. All that good stuff. Plenty coming up this weekend, so make sure you definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. We've got Holly's got another one of her is it third or fourth? I've lost count, but they're really good. Tweet all about it. We will have obviously the previews for the Aston Villa game, the watch-alongs for the Aston Villa game, and also we'll be having if you haven't seen it already, where the hell have you been? Pedro Obiang's Miami's 11 interview we did on Wednesday, absolutely brilliant. Please check it out. You will have a smile on your face because of the lovely man that is Pedro Obiang. So, obviously, the draw took place for the conference, Europa Conference League. Obviously, we're being drawn against sort of what was Steaua Bucharest, what was Anderlecht and Silkeborg. So yeah, it's a relative. It's not the glamour ties, but Anderlecht obviously brings European sort of nights back in the same way that it was Eintracht Frankfurt last year. Now it's Anderlecht, wasn't obviously losing to them in the final a few years ago. And then obviously you've got sort of kind of Steaua Bucharest. Obviously they knocked us out in the UEFA Cup, wasn't it, in the 1990,000 season? So yeah. And obviously, Silkeborg isn't too far from Viborg. So, you know, a lot of people, and including David Moyes, stayed in Silkeborg on Wednesday night. And that's what we bring you on a Friday. We bring you the press conference from Mr. David Moyes. And so that's today's Hammers headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Check them out in the description below. So let's go in and talk about David Moyes' press conference. Let's start off with Paqueta. Let's talk about Paqueta. Obviously, it's been the talk of the town, so to speak, with updates from various sources. And obviously, we had Sky and whatnot at the moment. And this is what he said about Paqueta. I learned as much from Sky. Waiting on more information. We made a second offer, hoping to try and get a deal done. No more updates. Says it like he is, does old Davy Moyes, doesn't he? Says it what it is. In terms of transfers in general, he said we've bought in more than I wanted. We needed to try and move on, break up what we had, trying to build another good team. Not sure we will do more. Not sure we will do more. We'll see about that. We've had to bring in more than he wanted because, you know, to the injury of a Gerd, and then you had to bring in Kira, for example, to sort of cover that. And then obviously that in turn, would you have got Emerson in? And, you know, so it's been a factor of the injury to Agerd. I think Agerd was his main defensive target, and we've had to sort of adapt a little bit, maybe to not the speed of some people would have liked to. But talking about the Europa League draw, and asking his comments. He said, I've just seen it and it's good. I'm looking forward to it. There are some good teams in it. We've had quite a difficult draw for our group, but we're looking forward to it. We actually stayed in Silkeborg on Wednesday, and it's never easy, any game in Bucharest either. It won't be easy, but we are looking forward to it. Asked about, you know, being back in Europe, he said, he says be excited about being back in Europe. I'm very much so in terms of being excited. I'm complaining a bit about the Thursday, Sunday, but overall I'm delighted we're back in Europe again. The supporters have the chance to get abroad and get to games. After the journey we had last year, we're hoping we'll be doing the same. And that's basically what we've all wanted, really, is that sort of going to, you know, play abroad and, you know, playing, you know, I mean, Bucharest's stadium is 50,000 plus stadium. Anderlecht, you know, sort of a rich European history, and by all accounts, the travelling fans to Viborg had a fantastic time in Denmark. So that'll be great. When asked about how his job is going so far, how he feels his job going so far, Moyes says, I'm really pleased with how we've brought the club on over the last 2.5 years. We've really knuckled down, kept at it, and the players have been fantastic. We're trying to be one of the big boys, one of the big clubs. We want to be a big club in the transfer market. The club does a lot of work in the community in East London, but ultimately the results are what drive it all. Of course, Mr. Moyes. Of course they do. Asked about Skamaka. Obviously, he came and had a great a great showing yesterday. He got my star man in terms of the my ratings. Go and check him out. Today, earlier today when we did the draw, we did the ratings just before we did the draw. He says he's been knocking on the door for a while, for a while. It's about getting him the fitness to play games at a Premier League level. We're looking forward to working with him for a long time. We don't need to rush him, but he's getting ready. And speaking of Skamaka, if you go back and listen to our interview with Pedro Obiang, we talk about Skamaka. We talk about what the fans could expect from him in terms of him as a player. And I'm just going to play you the clip now. This is what Pedro had to say about Skamaka. Done one from there. And we've had a chat, and you and me spoke.
Really?
Yeah. He's a big lad. He's about 6'5". You can't miss him. You can't miss him. Obviously, Gianluca Scamacca, we signed from Sassuolo. Now, obviously, we've spoken. You and me have spoken about it. What can West Ham fans expect from him? He's only played a little bit at the moment, but what can West Ham fans expect for someone who, obviously, yourself, you've been around with him for a while?
Me, like I always say, obviously, the people like every player when he's coming from another country need to be patient, but probably West Ham bring one of the future striker of the national Italy and Europe. He have really good skills. He's young. He's strong, and probably he can become one of the best. Obviously, it's not easy because everybody knows the Premier League is tough competition.
Yeah.
But if he will pass these difficult 3 months, after will be one of the best players in West Ham.
And there you go, you see. If anything, just to watch it for the shirt. So if you subscribe to the channel, West Ham Network, go and look at, it was only a few days ago, you'll be able to see it. And also there's a playlist. We've had over 100 ex-players on the channel, so interviewing them. So check them all out, and some really good ones to come as well. I mean, Pedro Obiang is probably one of my favourite interviews of all time, I'll be honest. Sorry for everyone else we've interviewed, but he probably is. Moyes was asked about the pressure of the job, saying we've tried to be ambitious through the transfer window. We've tried to get good players in. We think we've got that. We've brought in a lot of players, and I spoke last week about the changes we've needed to make. We're trying to build another good team here at the moment. Moving forward to the game against Villa, asked about team news. He says we're getting people back fit. I don't think we've picked up any injuries from our midweek encounter, so hopefully we'll be okay. And that's the great thing about sort of, I think, in terms of, if you look to the two legs, we've scored 6 goals. Scamacca scored 2, Antonio scored, Benny scored, Bowen scored, Cornet set up a couple, Benny set up a couple, and there's been no injuries. We kept a clean sheet as well, first clean sheet of the season. So actually, as a 180-minute period, it hadn't been too shabby. And so, we sort of relatively, touch wood, come out of it unscathed. Speaking of the Villa game, let's make it a bit bigger for you. He says, I really hope the lads take confidence from last night, because there are a lot of good things. We're piecing a lot of pieces together at the moment, and we're getting ready for a tough game against Villa. We'll do everything we can to get started at Villa. We want to play well. We want to win. We need good performances to get results, and at the moment, the performances haven't been good enough to get the results. We're seeing improvements of it. We're seeing signs of it improving, and we are. The challenge for us is aiming at the top, but at the moment we've got a job to do. We want to get a win at Villa, and we will certainly try to do that. I think Aston Villa are a good side. They've got some really talented players, and I think they will have a good season. But we have to go there and try and win. Of course, we need to go and try there with Mr. Moyes. And that was it, really. There wasn't a massive press conference. In terms of the press conference, you tend to have sort of what's known as the sort of the broadcastable press conference. Then they have the embargo press conference. So no doubt later on today there'll be some other stuff, maybe a little bit more about Scamacca, about Paqueta, maybe, or about some of the other players being interested. Maybe that might leak out towards toward the evening. But that's what we've got so far. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Go over to Sneeze at Mama Brown. Go over to the forum. See what East Village is talking about, because his fingers on the pulse at the moment. His fingers on the pulse on these at Mama Brown forum. He says Paqueta's in. He says we're going to get Gallagher. He says we're going to get Januzaj, and I think Brozier as well, or something like that. So, and he called the Emerson deal, and he called the Emerson deal, and he called the Kira deal as well. So, we'll see what happens. But anyway, hope you have a great weekend. Hope we get 3 points. And as I said, until next time, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated, stay positive. Enjoy the long bank holiday weekend. Hopefully we'll enjoy it even more if there's a win on Sunday, for those of us in the UK, of course, who get bank holidays. So ta-ta for now, my friends. See you soon. Bye-bye.